Dann lassen wir die oben.
Soll ich nachher nicht zu machen?
Nein, ich glaube, es ist einfach so fest.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. What? Yes. I see that we have a new video master, a brand new video master. Welcome to the shop.
Okay.
So this time the flame will not be on the heat. Good, that's great. Great that you volunteered to do that. Okay, we have 4 speeches tonight. 3 speeches out of the Netherlands and 1 special educational session. So, everyone's here. Let me introduce to you the first speaker. He's a quite new member. He's a very active member, and he told me that he is studying computer science, and that he loves to fly the kite. We have heard tonight that he even went kite flying tonight before coming here, and unfortunately there was no wind, but instead there was a lot of sun, and so he got sunburned. Nevertheless, he will give his first speech tonight, the icebreaker. That's the first speech of the manual competent communicator. It's supposed to last between 4 and 6 minutes. And the title of the speech is Get to the Point. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please help me welcome Moritz.
Well, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, get to the point. The more experienced Toastmasters of you probably think of the Competent Communicator Manual Project 3 now, and you might wonder, what's the point in the icebreaker here? Well, it comes from something else. It comes from a quote by Archimedes, the ancient Greek philosopher and scientist, who said, "Give me a point, and I'll leverage the whole world for you." I would like to talk today about some points in my life, how I got here to this point, and some stories that I would like to share with you. The beginning, of course, is when I was born, 26 years ago, 15th of October 1983, and I was born in the 7th district. My parents used to live there. I lived there all my life. And one thing that happened even before I was born was something that probably influenced my life quite a huge amount. My mother studied pharmacy, and while she was pregnant with me. And that led me to probably a decision 10 years later, or less 10 years later, where I was 15 years later, where I was 15 and I decided to attend the school for chemistry, specialized in chemistry. Getting to the point of molecules, getting to the point of actually Hans' speech as I saw it inside textile chemistry. Well, it took me on a different path. It took me to nuclear chemistry. A few years later, I joined the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, which probably Hans' neighbor knows a little bit. And it got me into an organization which I didn't know before, a few years before when I was still at school. And there I had the opportunity to see my work related to something I read in the news, nuclear weapons, you probably know. And I was still part of that team when we got the Nobel Peace Prize. I still say we, because I left the organization a few years ago. But at that time, we got the Nobel Peace Prize, and so I can say that I contributed a small part to this whole organization, many small parts changing something big. And that's something I'm quite quite proud of and still like to remember today. Chemistry might be something you think of as colorful liquids, all boiling together, pouring them together. Now there's another activity of mine where I get to the point of pouring two things together. It's cooking. You take water, you take wine, you take sauce, you name it, and put them together, getting to the point of a good recipe, a good ingredients. Compared to Marta, I like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, doing things, putting them here, putting them there, getting the right tools together, getting the right ingredients, getting to the point of having all this stuff at the right time. That's something I really enjoy, and there's evenings I spend 3 hours cooking just to put myself in my different. There's probably another explanation why I like chemistry that much and why I like cooking. Actually, the cooking was before. One of my oldest child memories is me standing in front of a sink, a little bit too small, actually, to look in and doing the dishes. So my parents spent a lot of cooking. My grandmother was a cook, also cooked, and so this led me to the pouring things together, got me to the point where I know how to handle liquids, know how to chop up things. And that probably is another explanation of how I got into the chemistry. Now I got out of the chemistry a few years later, while I was still working at the Atomic Energy Agency, and I realized that there's another point to find out besides chemistry is getting knowledge from what you experience. In scientific terms, getting knowledge out of data, getting information. Getting to the point where you find out what's it all about, that all this number crunching brings you. How can you explain to somebody who does not understand the field of chemistry what the data tells you? And that's probably something that brought me into my studies of computer science and statistics, where I get to the point of the data. Now, here I am at Toastmasters, and there's something that I mentioned before, that I try to explain something to people that is not in their field of interest. I try to understand how can I relate to them, how can I get one field and get it explained to somebody from another field. That's why I like to be in between, and that's why I like to be here. And my first speech in front of a Toastmaster was actually during the study in front of Jacob, where I talked about pasta and how to make good pasta. And that's how I came here. We spoke about it at the university about Toastmasters. That's what brought me to the point of standing here in front of you, breaking the ice in the summer heat, and having a good time at Toastmasters. Thank you.